Well, it is the afternoon today. I didn't even get here in the morning. But there is something that I feel that we're going to have this series calling it The Herd. Yes, I call it The Herd. Deal with it. CBDCs, Central Bank Digital Currencies. Now, first off, this subject only applies to the U.S. and the herd, because most of you Americans don't understand that out there in the world, in the rest of the West, I don't know about East, they probably have it better even than them. They've got advanced payment systems. The people there are used to it. The rest of you outside of this country, my home country, USA, you don't seem to get it. Nobody here has any idea of advanced payment systems. I tell you what, the most advanced that they get is a credit card with a chip in it that they stick into the thing. It's just recently come into the mind that I can tap it. Other than that, they stick it in. They have to have a credit card. That's as far as it goes. There is no fancy app that really just gets into great detail. And for you Americans watching this, you don't understand. Okay? Just don't. So let's get into the herd. So the central bank digital currencies will never take off in this country. I'm going to give you some examples and you're going to go, oh my God, she's right. Now remember what I said about the herd. A few things else about the herd that you should know about. The herd does not like jumping through hoops. It just doesn't like it. When it's traveling in a direction, as a herd does, they avoid obstacles. They go around them. They'll sit there and narrow down into a funnel just to avoid having to go over or under or, I don't know, in another direction and go around. That is so sad to say, but that is the human condition when it comes to the herd people who are non-thinkers. Now, you and I, this won't apply to us, but at least you'll get into your mind and be like, that's a thought. So when they introduce the CBDC here in the U.S., I guess the hillbillies are out. They introduce this CBDC, realize that unless it is like the super easiest thing, they're not going to do it. Now, for those of you who remember Obamacare, yes, I said Obamacare. Do you remember that? It was going to be super easy. We got this website. We spent billions of dollars on it. And then guess what? Months. I think it was actually a year. I know it was months. Months went by. Nobody could use it. They had to sit there and have these emergency meetings because it was so unusable. They had to make call centers for people to be able to call in and for them people to get it started because nobody else could figure it out. And what did the herd do? Well, they didn't go. A lot of people in their mindset were like, they just didn't want to pay. Well, probably that too, but most of them, it was like, well, I ain't going to do that. Don't even work. I got better things to do than sit there and hold for hours. Yeah, or days. I think at some point it was days or hours. So keep that in mind. When the government does something, the efficiency and its workability is on par with Obamacare. And you guys think they're going to come out with a CBDC that is going to be fixable, workable, or anything? It's like, no. And the other thing with the herd, when you've got food or water, something that is essential that has to be in front of them. And in this case, it has to be money because money gives you food and water. Food and water is right there. The herd is not going to sit there and funnel its little ass around all the way around its elbow to get to its ass because that is not herd. The herd wants to get directly there and they will trample the shit out of everything else in its way. The CBDC will not survive in this country. You know, it's going to be simple. It's not going to be that complicated. Yes, it will. People don't even get on crypto exchanges. And that's I figured that out, and I am horrible at tech. And they don't want to even do that. And I'm a thinker. I mean, come on. It's too simple to be simple. They've got wallets out there that will work even for the simplest. And because that's already set up, it's already gone through all the crap. That's about as good as it's going to get, is just cryptocurrencies in general that are decentralized. Because that's already been put through the fire. The bugs have already been worked out. The CBDCs, it's that's what it is. It's not going to work. Too many obstacles in the way. Too much of a learning curve to come through. And then when you start seeing the rules that are coming with it, sounds great for it, you're like, no. See, the problem with the other countries that have the social credit score and stuff is they were already accustomed to it. They tested it on their population. They saw what worked, what didn't work. And as much as you want to, well, that means that it can work over here because they've already got the blueprint over there. Different cultures, different kinds of things are important. I tell you what, here's a very good example. Here in Maine, these people do not really use debit cards or even credit cards. They use checks. Yeah, the Stone Age of a handwritten check. A whole state of people that believe in a handwritten check. This state is not the only one with that kind of mentality. It's all over the place. And you think they're going to go to digital currency? If it's not working within the first few weeks, it's dead in the water. Any hiccups, it's dead in the water. Because remember, the herd mentality, they will trample to get to that food and water and shelter. That's what's going to happen. It will not go around. So if you think it's going to come out and work wonderfully, you've got more faith in government than I do, and you probably watch Dr. Fauci and believe everything he says. But if you live in reality, I've seen this government do many things, and nothing seems to work, at least for a few years.